Hello and welcome back to this week's fretboard lesson. Today we are going to take a look at how you can take pentatonic scales and turn them into minor modes. So if you've got your minor pentatonic and you're able to play it in position 1, you can actually start playing in modes already and you can start jamming over backing tracks in modes using those. You're just missing a little bit of knowledge to make that jump gap. Let's jump in. So one of the things about modes is understanding the modes is a bit of a trek for guitar. It can take lots of different lessons that you're going to work on, but that doesn't mean that you can't start playing in a mode straight away. And I think one of the best things in order to really understand a mode is to be able to listen to it, and once you get the sound under your ears, then you start kind of going, oh, why does it sound like that? So using pentatonics as a way for you to explore those modes and understand those sounds and hear those sounds helps get your ear ready to understand the theory behind it. So most people come at it from the other direction, where they learn the theory first and then they hear the modes afterwards, which is fine, but that can often be a really laborious way of working. And how do you know whether you actually want to understand this stuff and work with it in music, or whether you're just learning theory for theory's sake and then becoming a bit of a music nerd? And there's nothing wrong with being a music nerd. I absolutely find myself doing that sometimes too, and sometimes there's no right way to do it. It's a bit of a chicken or an egg way of playing on the guitar and in music theory and experiencing music. But I always think coming at it with the modes, from the having heard it and then filling in the blanks first, is a very useful way for you as a student to really understand what a mode should sound like and how to use it. So without further ado, let's jump in and start looking at what these sounds like. So we're not going to go too heavy into the theory side of things today. We're going to take a look, and we're going to be in E minor pentatonic. And I'm going to just tell you now, there are 3 possible modes that we could play over that are pretty standard on the guitar. So the first one is just turning that into the full minor scale. And we're going to do it over our top 2 strings. So on these top 2 strings here, we're playing 12, 15, 12, 15. Now we're actually playing in the scale, we're playing 5, 7, root, and 3. And so for us to turn this into just what would be a normal minor scale, this is our starting point, as our reference, we would want to put in a 6, a flat 6, our 7 and 1 stay the same, and then we need a 2, which is a 14. So now it looks like this. It goes 12, 13, 15, 12, 14, 15. And that's going to sound like the minor scale. Now the reason I've done it in E minor is so that we can hear that drone underneath, and you can actually play kind of the sound of the root note and hear that sound at the same time. So I'm playing normal pentatonic notes there, but I'm adding in, on those top 2 strings, those notes to sound nice. Okay, cool. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at Dorian. So I said there's 3 modes we can play. We've got Aeolian, which is our natural minor. That's just the minor scale. It sounds like this. Alright, now we're going to do Dorian, which is one of my personal favourites. And in order to make our pentatonic scale sound like Dorian, we have 1 note change difference between the minor and the Dorian. And it's our 6. So on string number 2, instead of going 12, 13, 15 like we did in the minor, for Dorian we're going to go 12, 14, 15. And then on string 1 we're going 12, 14, 15 again. So let's hear it against that E. often sounds great in a blues context. Dorian gets used for blues quite a lot. And in pop, a lot more than you often think. I remember when I was in a pop band, going on about 10 years ago now, a lot of the songs that we listened to the radio and go, why does that sound so good compared to what we're doing? And it was actually, a lot of them were in the Dorian mode. So hearing that in Dorian and playing over the E root note is really good for you and your playing journey to really evolve and hear what that Dorian sounds like as compared to the minor. So playing those two back to back is a really good exercise. Let's play minor. And then to Dorian. So just playing this back and back, and you don't have to worry about it sounding good at all. It really is just hearing the scale over the root note. There's no fanciness to it. You don't have to do any big phrasing at this point. It's just trying to hear what that mode sounds like. Okay, so I promised you there's 3 modes that we're going to do today, and the third one we're going to look at is called Phrygian, with a PH Phrygian. So this one is 1 note away from the minor scale as well. So if we go back to what our minor scale was, which was 12, 13, 15, 12, 14, 15. Well, now it's the other note that's moved. So now we're going to go 12, 13, 15. And for the Phrygian, it's 12, 13, 15 again. This one's quite dark. It gets used in metal. Metallica have used this quite a lot. Whether that's intentional or not, I have no idea. And just being able to noodle around in it with that root note so that your ear has a chance to process the sound, I think is really important. I can't stress enough how it's not important about this sounding good. It's not important about you being able to play it fast. It really is about getting your ear used to hearing those 3 different sounds. And that's going to help you to, over time, to process which one you like more. So I've decided over time that I kind of prefer the sound of the Dorian of those 3 for a lot of things, and I realised that a lot of the music I like is in Dorian modes, or so there's other modes that I gravitate towards too. And I'm not a huge fan of the Phrygian. There are some songs which I think sound wicked in it, but if I was going overall, like, what am I going to spend most of my time practicing, Phrygian was not a huge priority for me on the guitar. So that might be completely different to you, because watching this, everyone has their own unique musical taste. My job here is to simply help you unlock how you're going to move forward with practicing which ones. And that starts with experiencing the sounds of them and getting used to being able to play them just over a pentatonic scale with those modes and adding in the flavour of those modes as you go. So I hope you found this lesson useful today. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers at the moment, so I'd really appreciate if you found this useful, hit the subscribe button and join us on the journey to 1,000 subscribers here. I will see you, do videos every Thursday and every Saturday, so I will see you in the next lesson. And thanks very much for watching today, guys. See you next time.